got the plane in Sonora. Then I went to a restaurant, and we were talking like for what, like 3 hours at that restaurant. And I went to the bathroom, then I went for a coffee, and like at the very last minute when I have to leave in order to take a bus to Arizona, um, I like I couldn't feel my necklace, so I panicked at the airport. I asked everyone there. I had to leave, so I didn't have much time to stay, and I had to leave like I, I was there was no way. It was not Mexico City's airport. It was Sonora Airport. I was not gonna be back. Um, it was really bad. It was like one of the worst, probably the worst day I had over there, cause
Yeah, she was very distressed. Like
But what did you
I
think that happened? You didn't
I
think correctly, or
I don't know. Like that's the saddest part. I really don't know at which part of the trip I lost it. I have no idea. Like I
an
don't know.
accident? Was an accident?
It was I wanna think it was probably was an accident, but you know I remember it got very blurry at that time because I was about to leave. Like I had like 10 minutes before my bus left, and that's when I realized very last minute. So I tried to ask whoever I could, like security guards and people. And you kind of know here that when you lose something, and especially like a ring, a golden ring, yeah, like yeah, and then
I don't want to imagine in the
it was very
airplane going to
bad.
Arizona.
It was horrible. Like I was.
I will be destroyed if I were you.
It was like that. Yeah, it was like that for a long time, and now it's not. Now
we
it's not.
discussed that.
Yeah, and then he was the chillest person, and yeah, I thought that he was gonna, be either mad or upset, and also his family, they bought the ring together. But he was very calm. Like he was like, yeah, don't worry,
Don't
it's a
worry.
ring, it's an accident. Like
Exactly.
the end's just a symbol. Like doesn't change that I want to marry you. Doesn't change our relation. And I think those words helped me eventually to, feel calm. And now it's, yeah, it was really bad. Like it was like probably like 2 months where if I remember the ring,
You cried.
yeah, it was bad. And it feels bad, not having it. Yeah, but
Okay, you need to understand that accidents that happen,
Yeah.
but that doesn't change the reality. The reality is something different.
Exactly.
It's a representation, no?
Exactly.
And women, well, for us it's important, but at the end it's just an object.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we concluded as well. Doesn't change anything.
And now what are the plans of
that's the
the,
sad part.
what is the next step?
Oh well. Next step is
We're
settling down here. I'm still, I still need to register for work.
So you are going to come to live to Mexico?
Yes, so I came here with a work visa already. So the plan was that I can transition within my company. So the Budapest office and the Mexico office, they are belonging to the same big company. So I can transfer from Hungary to Mexico here. So I had to resign from my work there, and they will hire me here in Mexico. So I have
Why
all.
you never decide to do the opposite?
That's also a good question.
Because you don't speak, sorry. You wish the opportunity or we are just like,
We were waiting that he explained the part.
Okay.
You're like so fast.
Okay, so yeah, it's a very good question. We thought about it a lot, where to go, which way to go, but we concluded that we should try it here first in Mexico, because Miriam has now a law degree, so she's a lawyer, and unfortunately her degree is not compatible with law degrees in Europe. So the law system is so different
for anyone.
And well, there's an incompatibility of the language as well. In Hungary, Spanish is not really used at all, so so it wouldn't really.
So for her could be
Useful.
harder to move there.
Yeah, so if she wants to do her career in law, then she needs to do it here. And as I'm working in IT, that's more flexible. So computer issues are computer issues everywhere. So Windows is the same everywhere, and we know how bad it is.
So,
So,
what would you recommend us as a student if we wanted to work or to stay in another country?
Uh-huh.
Well, as a Mexican, what should we do?
Like what kind of work you should do?
Yeah, so for example, the degrees or
Uh-huh.
what do we need?
Well, what I can say is that at my workplace, it's an international big company, so we have colleagues from many different countries, and there are many countries, many colleagues who are actually students there in Hungary, and they are studying engineering, for example. That's also always compatible with the different countries. IT is also something that doesn't require too much expertise, and it uses
What did you
English
say?
everywhere.
IT
IT.
goes for information technology.
Information technology,
So-
yeah.
Like the
My
IT,
sisters.
like the TICs.
Yes, like this.
TIC. Ajá, tecnologías de la información.
Ajá.
IT.
IT.
Yes.
What did you study?
Well, I also studied law, but I didn't finish, so that's why I went to an IT company, because they were hiring for the languages. So if you speak a language, you can get hired easily at any IT company. So it's very important, I would say.
But even if you have the language, you need like another area.
Well, not really, but for IT, not necessarily. But it's better to actually study IT as well. So there's courses for information technology or computer science. So these are well paid and appreciated jobs these days. If you want to go abroad, you will definitely find work with IT. Engineering is the other one that is really compatible. But I guess trades as well, right?
Yeah, I would say keep on learning English.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I would say English is key.
Yeah.
To go abroad, and it's the closest. Because I say that we're very lucky to know or to learn Spanish from like since we were born, but that also limits our the places we can go. Like many people or many exchange students here in Mexico tend to go to either Argentina or Spain, sorry. So it's very competitive to get those spots. But there are many other spots available for Mexican students and that require you English. So you can go anywhere, I would say. But
Yeah.
keep on this what you're doing right now. I think it's really good. You're using your time and learning English, and so I think you should keep on going for it. English is gonna help you definitely in whatever if you're a dancer, if you're an actress, I don't know.
I have
Better.
do you have a question
What,
first?
what did you decide to study that career?
Well, I'm gonna stay in IT for now.
Yes.
I think.
What did you decide?
Sorry.
What did you decide?
What's the reason?
What's
The reason?
Why?
Ah,
Repeat
okay.
your question.
Why is the reason that you
No.
decide?
Why?
Why did you decide to study that career?
Yeah,
What do you mean
that's
law?
good. Well, I started studying law because I was a very big history buff, so I wanted to utilize that to become like a historian or law historian, or yeah, anything to do with history. But yeah, law turned out to be a bit more difficult than I anticipated it to be. Yeah, unfortunately, I realized it too late. So I was like doing 1 year, it was okay. Second year, it was kind of okay as well. Third year, it was really, really, really difficult, and I was like, okay, maybe not low. And I was in a lucky position because Hungary is is a country where many multinational companies are coming these days, and they are looking for foreign speakers, like English speakers and other language speakers, because our labor is cheaper than in Western Europe. So many companies have offices now in Hungary, similar to what you have here in Mexico. Many big international companies are here. So luckily, I was there with my English knowledge and my French, so I got hired, and I have to say I got to like it very much in IT. So there's a reason why I'm still doing it. I started back in 2014, so almost 10 years ago, and yeah, it's a captivating environment. Always something new. It's never the same day twice. Like something always happens, and you get to meet a lot of people along the way as well. Like many people from different cultures actually. So it's very nice environment.
So it's common that the people in Hungary travel a lot, travel abroad.
Yeah, it's also, I wouldn't say it's a good thing, because we should have, you know, jobs available in Hungary as well, and good jobs available in Hungary as well. But many people feel that they would make a better life for themselves if they go abroad. We have very rich countries to the west, in Western Europe and Central Europe. We have Germany, France, Austria. We had the UK as well, but now they are not part of the European Union, so it's a bit harder to go there. But yeah, all of these other countries are very wealthy, plenty of jobs, good salaries, and many people decide to go there. I don't consider this a good thing, because we should be able to, you know, work where we grew up. But it's a possibility. Luckily for many people, they can go and they can make a living, they can support their families back home as well. So yeah, it's a phenomenon that is there, and yeah.
Have the personality.
Mm.
Because when you travel, when you leave the family, you need to be ready.
It's very hard to.
Of course.
To give the
next
the next.
The next step in a foreign.
And how your parents took that decision?
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm saying because Mexico is more farther than Germany or Finland.
Exactly. So my siblings can visit them practically every weekend if they want to. It's not so expensive and not taking too much time.
Yeah.
They still don't do it though. So, so I'm a bit mad about it because they are pretty close and they could come.
Why? Why do you think they don't do it?
Well, yeah,
Is
good question.
education or what? What it is?
It's mainly work. They say it's always work. They always have to work. They don't have so many holidays. But yeah, I think that if they have some holidays, they should spend it at home. So yeah. It's not that they are not visiting ever. Like they came a few times already, but they could do it more. Like they also have long weekends in these countries. So whenever there's like a national holiday on a Monday or Tuesday, they have like 3 or 4 days that they can just take up and leave, go back home. But yeah, so my parents are kind of used to this already, that they don't see their kids every day. My situation is a bit different because, oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I used to live in the city before the pandemic, but after the pandemic I went back to my parents' house as a temporary way of living, but then 3 years passed. So I was basically living very close with them for the past couple of years, and it's been really difficult to make this decision to come here, and we are still adjusting to it. So it's been 2 weeks since I'm here. So I came on your national holiday, actually on the 15th. Yeah, we saw the El Grito. Yeah, it was on the TV when I came.
Like,
Yeah, it was interesting. I never
like
seen
all
it.
the celebration.
Yeah.
Pozole.
Not yet, since I'm here. But I already tried it before. Yeah, it's good. I didn't know that there's corns this big. I was like, what is this? It's corn. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's still a process of finding ways to adjust, finding ways to communicate. For me, it's very difficult because until now, I was doing the opposite of this. So I was always the one who woke up earlier, and I was waiting for Miriam to wake up. Now I'm the one who wakes up at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. when we are getting up late, and it's like, oh my god, it's like 3 or 4 in the afternoon for them. So their day is pretty much over by that time, pretty much. And at least I get to ask them how their day was. Yeah, I would love to be there to say good morning, stuff like that. Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I think it's
fresh
very
ones.
hard because it's not the same to travel and you know that you're gonna be back in like 3 weeks. But when you know it's gonna take a while since you visit back, it's definitely harder, and
Yeah.
I can kind of understand, but not fully understand because I've never gone through something like this.
Yeah. So Miriam told me something which is really helpful. It's that I look forward for the next time we meet. So yeah, that helps.
And in your decision, when you decide Mexico, do you understand what is the
real idea.
What I'm
the
getting
real
into.
life of Mexico?
Yes. So yeah, that's.
It's because I was thinking.
No te pozole.
I was thinking about something, no? I have many students in here that they are trying to take a chance to go away from here because the laboral area is not well, because the students in here study effort, and when they just start facing the real life at working in Mexico, is so hard. So many are thinking, no Mexico. No Mexico, and they are fighting for the opportunity abroad.
I see.
And in you, that you can have that chance, because we know what is Mexico. I don't know if you know what is Mexico.
Yeah.
And that's my curiosity.
What do you think
I don't
about
know in where you live in here and you can tell him, and you live in there and you can tell her, what is the best economical status place to settle? Have you talked about that?
I think we have, yes. I know that here in IT it things can go pretty well for him, and if he gets I know that with his languages it's gonna be more well accepted here, and they're we're actually in a dilemma because the company didn't turn out to be very reliable as we thought it was gonna be. But I still have a positive perspective that he can do pretty well here, and I think that if we need to try it here,
Yeah.
I think it was important, and I think it will if Mexico is not for you or it's not for us, I think it's better to do it the sooner the better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so the previous times I was here, I was always trying to put on my skeptical lenses and check how the city is, how livable it is. And well, I wasn't so prepared for the morning metro. That's something that I experienced. Yeah, that's something that we don't have in Hungary. Like, we have morning rush, of course, but it's nothing compared to this.
Yeah, I
so
remember
that's-
you told me like, oh yeah, I know how morning rush is.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
oh, it's nothing.
hold on,
It's gonna be fine. I'm a big boy. But yeah. First time I was like, after 2 stops, I was like, okay, let's get out of this. yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So yeah, there are some mild surprises like this, but yeah, before deciding to come here, I really we evaluated our options, and IT really seems like a good opportunity for me to settle. It pays well, and it's stable. These are big multinational companies that are here, and they're always hiring. So in case of any big issues at one company, I don't like it there, I can go to a different one potentially. So yeah, I feel that it will work out. Yeah, we have this concept that it could work out.
Yeah.
How before? I'm sorry. Before the ring, how did you manage all that difficult conversation that you need to talk about, but that at the beginning is not like like? I think that both of you didn't want to talk because maybe you could be on the wrong area, or you could not be at the same way of idea.
Uh-huh.
So how did you manage that?
Yeah, it's interesting. We never had very, very big arguments, very big differences of opinion. We talk about basically everything, without filters, I think. And we tend to have very similar opinions about, very same views about things. Not just like money things, but also like ideological
Yes.
things and political things as well. We don't talk too much politics. I always rant about my politicians, but yeah.
Yeah, and actually before he came and he proposed to me, yeah, I remember we were at a trip and then we had a talk like, okay, what do we wanna do? What are your plans? And then like, oh well, I was planning to ask you to, get married with me. I was like, oh, so nice, but maybe I didn't want to know that. But it was good, like, because that day we talked a lot about like what our plans would be, and that where do we see each other, and and it really surprised me. You said like, yeah, I'm going there, like I'm going to Mexico, because in the beginning I assumed that I was gonna be the one who would go there. I don't know, I just assumed it, like, okay, yeah, like I will need to go. He wouldn't want to leave Europe.
Yes, also it's like a Mexican tradition. Yes.
I was asking why, because what is our Mexican thoughts?
Yes.
No?
Is that?
Why the woman and not the man?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess it was a bit of it like that, like, but it was mostly like I didn't think that he was willing to leave Europe, and it really surprised me. You were like, yeah, I mean,
We need to try.
we need
It
to
was
try.
it was always the concept that we need to try it here first.
Yeah, and
I think that at the beginning, since the beginning of your relation, it was the phrase "we need to try," and when you start to chat and then you came, every part of the relation was "we need to try," and if it could
But
be,
because they both want it, no?
yeah, actually, now that you mention it, was a bit more like, okay, let's see what happens in this.
Yeah.
We didn't see each other like in 3 years. We were like, okay, let's try, till next time we see each other, and it was like that, and then looking forward to
beginning,
both, but like, and it's it is right now this way. Like I know Mexico can be shocking because it's not like Europe or not like in the US. Once I met that girl in the US and she was like, oh, I wanted to go to Australia because I thought it was gonna be, I wanted something different, something out of how America looks like. And she went to Australia and she was like, it was just like in the United States. It was very similar. She said like, do you think if I come to Mexico I will find something different, like out of what? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, no doubt.
Like America, but with kangaroos.
Yeah. So I think we're in this now, right? Like we are testing, and there are hard days, and there are great days as well, and we are trying. Like we are. I always tell him like, and he always tells me as well. Like if I feel like I can't do it, like I'll let you know. And
we have like a panic button.
Yeah. It's also a matter of trying. Like we are trying right now.
Yeah, like I learned a very good expression in Spanish when I came here. Ya tienes no.
Ya tienes el no.
Ya tienes el no. Like
We
can try.
yes.
You can try. Yeah, we already have a no. So.
Yes, as a Mexican we said that. El no ya lo tienes.
El no ya lo
Imagínate
tienes.
que tienes.
Now go for it or fight for the yes. Or fight for yes.
Yeah.
And what is the thing that you like most in Mexico?
Mexico.
No, I think the thing.
Besides Miriam.
Besides Miriam.
Okay.
What is the thing that you
I need to record that.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Okay, you say 3, 2.
No.
Besides Miriam, what is the thing that you like most in Mexico?
Okay, it's a very good question. What I really like is the way people treat each other. If you go into a store, if you bump into somebody on the street, if you are standing in line and you want to cross the line, people are just so how to say, approachable or so kind to each other. That's what I see. Like
Well, no,
Where?
not always, but in
Are
comparison.
you sure in Mexico?
Yeah, my perception is based on my experiences in Europe. If you go to a store in Hungary, the clerk is like this.
Different, yes.
If you stand in line, people are like this. People on the street are
No
like this.
warm people.
No.
Yeah.
We got accustomed here that every person that you find, it's like the commonly, but there is
for them it's
like them.
different.
They are like
Yeah.
We are like very
Yeah.
expressive.
Like
right?
Yeah, people there are very reserved. They don't engage in conversations as easily as here. It's very
Let me tell you that
Interesting.
probably he's in love of this girl because this girl always.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe.
There was
No,
the
no,
story.
maybe that's the reason that she's in love. That he's in love, yes, but the reason because she's so warm, so
Yes.
tender, so educated.
Isaac is looking at
Uh,
you like.
Outside, she said. So probably those characteristics make him feel somewhat different from all he's around. No? Because
Yeah.
she's too kind, too lovely, too tender. She has that characteristic.
you are onto something there. Yeah, for sure. Like that's
So the
really something.
contrasting, no? The
Mhm.
contrasting likes to him.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Like the way she engages people, it's amazing me every time. Like I have seen it 100 times, approaching strangers, like going to sitting into a taxi, and she's asking, "Oh, how's your day going?"
Oh, it's just-
Oh, so nice. It's just nice to sit there and like hear how they speak, how they engage. It's very it warms my heart somehow. Yeah. And I aspire to be like that because I'm also like these Europeans that like this. And it's been hard to sit down here with you guys and talk with you guys as well. yeah, I was a bit nervous, but now I'm chill. Now I'm fine.
No,
But
You're
yeah,
very comfortable, I think.
yeah, it's very good.